Sorry about that. All right, so let's bring in our man of the hour, Francisco Espinoza from Embrace the Landscape.
Yes.
All right, so good morning, Francisco. How are you doing out
Hey,
there?
hey, man, good. Good morning.
All right, so we are excited to have you with us.
Yes.
So, just to be clear, you are the brains behind the operation. Is that correct?
Basically, yeah, design and operate, yeah, here in the house. Yeah, we basically come up and on that job, the first job you showed, that one we came up as we went. So that one wasn't like the plan at all. It kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and we just had to make sure it all can work out together, so
Oh, I
it can
like
all
that.
flow and everything. So, but yeah,
Okay.
now we actually design. Now we have to design or anything like that. We got to
Yeah.
make sure we design it because if not, we're gonna run into
Right.
so many problems.
Right. I can see that. I was like,
Uh,
as okay, so it's good. You kind of hinted on two things you're capable of
Yeah.
doing. One is you can fly by the seat of your pants.
Right.
So it's kind of
yeah,
like it's what you can do is work with a vision and then
Sure.
change it, right? And then as you
yeah,
come up with
yeah,
things that you didn't foresee, you go, that's okay. We can work around that, and we can do this instead. It'll look even better.
Yeah.
So that's kind of an idea. But obviously the planning stages helps out as well, especially for the homeowner. There was one. Let's see. Was
Uh-huh.
it? I wanted to show. Which one was it that we had like the pool? Maybe it was this one. Was it maybe this
Yeah,
one?
well that's this is more so the after, I think.
Okay, so we're gonna show one more.
Yeah.
Um, there was a guy in here in the pool. They were. This is probably toward the end. So, and
oh,
this is where when we had met you several months ago, and we talked, and we really liked what you were doing at the time. We're talking, of course, about landscaping, and then all of a sudden we see this pool that was put in, and we're like, wait a minute. I thought it was just landscaping, and so we had to ask you. So we thought, you know what, we'll just do it live. I said, "Are you now custom building pools too?" So that was one of the questions that we wanted to ask you. In that particular, here's the one I was looking for. So
Yeah.
here's the one that was basically just no grass,
Yeah, but now
and now look at it.
with all the concrete.
Yeah, so basically all the concrete pavers, nice tile
Yeah.
structure, nice
Beautiful.
view, nice designed pool. Um, so that was sorry, I was sitting there doing all this, and then I didn't show the view. Here we go. So there we go. This is what we were showing. Sorry, I forgot to press the button. But so this is where again we're talking about just the rough stuff of the
Yeah.
backyard. Nothing to it, and there wasn't anything back there. And the looks like the homeowner said, "I want a pool.
Yeah.
I want a great view."
Amazing.
And so this was a completely different view from what we were talking about with just the landscaping only.
Yeah.
So
It
let's
looks good.
yeah. So let's touch base on that real quick, at least on that particular example of how it was a little bit different than what we would normally envision when we're talking about landscaping.
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, on that job actually, we didn't do the pool. The guy that hired us to do the pavers is the one that did it, but we were the one that did the coping on that pool though. We did do the coping to match with the
Okay.
pavers, and yeah,
Okay.
that's something we did do. And but yeah, and that yeah, we pretty much did the pavers all around there on that job.
Oh,
Ah,
there's the coping.
Yeah,
okay.
Yes. That's
yeah,
beautiful.
Okay, so that makes sense. All right, so in other words, then you can work with other builds at the same time to kind of
yeah.
joint build in something.
Right. So the pool was maybe already there or had just finished, and then they'll call in Francisco, Embrace the Landscape
Yeah,
to come in
Yep.
and work
Right.
alongside.
Okay.
yeah, yeah,
So that kind of just lead us then to kind of, since that was two things that kind of struck us like, wait a minute. So let's go into that. What kind of landscaping do you normally do then?
Oh, so yeah, so currently right now we're trying to have two crews, but mainly right now focusing on hardscaping. And my second crew is doing the landscape install, especially right now with it being spring, and we're trying to help as much as we can. So I have my second crew; they're the ones doing the landscape installs, and no, we're not doing no maintenance at the time, just installs only. But he's doing that while my brother's taking care of the hardscapes, which are the patios and the retaining wall, fences, and drainage right now, especially. So that's what we try to focus more mainly on is patio, retaining wall, fence, and drainage, while my other crew is doing the landscape like flower bed installs, make creating new flower beds or revamping,
Yeah.
destroying completely, starting all over. And we
Right.
do that. So let's say we're focusing on that as well. But yeah, it's
Okay.
pretty much what we
So
try to
okay,
focus
so
on.
no, that's awesome. So that was
Yes.
something I never thought about. And I thought of landscaping. I didn't actually think of two terminology:
Me either.
landscape and
Hardscape.
hardscape. So hardscape,
Yeah,
they kind of go hand in hand. So it was good
Sure.
that you're
yeah,
doing both because yeah, you're gonna have to do something in both regards to
yeah,
make something a
yeah.
project work. So how long have you
Okay.
been an installer for both of those?
Oh, so yeah, for landscape, we've been for installing for 5 years, and then hardscape 4 years. Because when we started out, we were just mainly doing landscape and flower beds, and then the year after that's when I was like, man, I was really interested in hardscapes like patios and retaining walls. So I
Mm-hmm.
always looked into that. And so yeah, basically that winter going on to the second year, I studied it and I did a lot of research. And so from there, that's when we kind of started getting small little retaining walls, and over time, it's getting
Nice.
bigger and bigger. And yeah, I just kept stepping up. But yeah, that's been about 4 years now for hardscapes.
For
Okay.
hardscapes.
And just
Okay.
Yeah, for
for people
hardscape.
at home that's like, okay, we've heard this hardscape term now a couple times. Can you kind of give them just the differences? Obviously, some is probably what concrete related and structure related
Yeah,
versus plants and shrubs. Is that kind of what it is?
And fences, he said too.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, officially, yeah. But yeah, no, yeah, hardscape, yeah, mainly is like concrete pavers, like retaining wall blocks, anything like hard, like landscapes always they call it like softscape, and that's another thing they to call it as well, softscape. But hardscape is yeah mainly just like the what you need like, structurally for a good landscape, which is like retaining wall. You need to build a retaining wall
Oh.
to structure your backyard before you do anything else. So yeah, retaining walls or like patios. I think even concrete. I don't know. What they call concrete also hardscape. Maybe a little bit of it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Sure.
So then, whenever you're
But yeah,
deciding to build something in the back, you got to use terminology like I need a hardscape and a landscape, and I need the two of
Yes.
them in
yeah,
order to work
The
together.
softscape and the.
Right.
yeah.
Okay. So you,
Wow! I just learned something
I
new
know
today.
I didn't even know that was even a term until just now. So hey, high
No.
five.
Oh my gosh, that's right.
All right, so okay, so on the
Okay.
hardscape installations, you kind of threw out a couple things there. What were the rest of the materials that you can use for that?
So yeah, so like on pavers, not it's just there's concrete pavers, concrete bricks, but there's also like porcelain travertine, which is like a natural stone, and
Mm-hmm.
that stuff's even better than regular concrete. So you can do those materials. Um, that's mainly what we use for I think for pavers wise. But we
Okay,
common is and budget friendly is concrete pavers, which they still last you for like lifetime compared to doing regular concrete.
okay.
but
Absolutely.
but yeah,
So
pavers, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
whenever you're, we talked about this at the very beginning. So whenever you're going to go to try to design a project, so
Mm-hmm.
kind of walk us
Yeah.
through. Homeowner calls you up and they say, "Hey, I want to do something here in the backyard." Walk us through that process.
So yeah, basically once I get that phone call, we schedule a meeting, and we can either come in within a couple of days, and yeah, once we get there, we look at the whole like out like from structurally. That's where we start first to see if we can build something there or not. We gotta raise it up. If it's too slow, we gotta look at that as well, and then we take all those measurements, and then we go home the next day at the office. We got my software I have. I can design it all out. I can have it to where I can add the grades on the design so that it
Mm.
looks more real. And then you
Okay.
like say we do it out of your retaining wall, and you want to have a patio on top.
Mm-hmm.
So then I can add a retaining wall, the height it needs to be perfectly like a little slope on your patio, and yeah, I can make it look pretty realistic. Well, 3D basically.
Mm.
Um, so yeah, pretty much. And I can even do it for like flower beds, the front yard, the backyard, not just the hardscapes. I can also design front landscape as well
That's
with that
nice.
design.
So
Yeah,
then the homeowner can see exactly what they're going to get,
yeah,
and then you can work with them if they want to change something up, and then
yeah. And it'll be
yeah,
easier. Yeah, easy to make changes on there. That way we
sure,
can have a plan to go off
yeah,
of and
Right.
not run into problems.
wow.
Yeah, well, okay. So, just thinking outside the blue here. So, what kind of problems so far have you encountered that made you have to kind of change the design a little bit? Like, what do you normally run into? And you're like, oh, we're gonna have to do this now because of this.
So yeah, so what's common so far, I think I've noticed is drainage, for sure drainage.
Mm.
Because I know like if they might already be having drainage problems, and we don't know that yet. But once we start, we have a slope away from the house, but we probably have water coming towards our house. So then we're like, damn, now we got to see what we can do with the drainage wise, and where we can add something for a catch basin. So that's the thing I
Oh,
noticed for sure when we don't plan out is drainage. That
Right.
also what's under the in the ground too, because I know that sometimes we do that. We check because I know they want to do a patio up against a house. There's always sand, so much sand, and
Oh,
so if there's so much sand, we gotta take all that sand out just to create enough, add enough base, so it's not as strong and won't ever settle. And that's another thing we always run into if we don't really look into. But we
right.
always have to make sure, yeah, gotta make sure you gotta do it right.
Wow. Okay. I never even thought of that.
Okay. And then obviously, if somebody has existing water sprinkler system, you guys can go and remove that or redirect
Yeah, that's
it.
another thing. Yeah, that's another thing too with the sprinklers because that's something we sometimes we before we wouldn't check for, and when we wanted something new, every time we either did with the machine or hand dig, we always run into sprinklers, and then we're like, okay, now we got to reroute everything,
Right.
and so yeah, that's another but yeah, so even then that's no problem. We can still reroute them. Like we also
Right.
do installs on sprinklers, so
Oh, that
if
was
it's
what I
needed,
was
we
going
can
to ask. Yes. So you do
yeah
all this beautiful landscaping, and then you
yeah
can add in a sprinkler system so then the homeowner doesn't have to worry about it, correct?
yes
Which is
yeah
nice.
yeah yeah it's nice yeah sure it saves a lot of time.
I bet.
So that was kind of
Especially
a
all the heat.
that was
Yes.
one of the things kind of leads into this, which is okay. You've got all these great flowers. You've got these like shrubs.
Sit down.
You're gonna have to water them at some point, right? Somehow. So do you build something in that's automatic sometimes, so that the homeowner doesn't have to go out there with a hose every day, or how do you normally structure the irrigation part of it?
So yeah, 'cause I know on the irrigation part, there's zones, and each zone's like on each area of the yard because you can't do one zone. Everything can't be all watered at once. So you kind of start like one end of the house, one to the other end, and also flower beds. They're different sprinklers too, because on the yards there's rotors and they spray the whole yard, and there in the
Right.
flower beds there's sprays, and the sprays just spray only at the flowers. And that's something we got to make sure of. And we also have to separate them. So like the flower bed turns on first, and then the yards, one each zone at a time. And so
Okay.
that pretty much have to figure out then from there how many zones you're gonna need by measuring the yard and just looking at all the corners, and you got a lot of obstacles just to make sure you have enough water.
There's a lot of detail.
There's a lot of moving parts in this deal.
Wow. Oh my
Um,
gosh. So
Yeah,
let's just say you go into someone's backyard. They just bought this house. You go into the backyard and they want it overhauled, redone. From start to finish, and I know it's hard to give an estimate, but roughly you come in there within a couple days and then you're doing some hardscaping, you're doing some landscaping, start to finish like a week, maybe 2 weeks, or
about yeah, yeah, like a simple one about a week, about a week.
okay.
Usually a few days to a week, I would say. Few days to a week
Okay.
for like like a little like small backyard. Yeah, I'll say about a few days to a week for sure, and depending on rain too. Obviously. But other than that,
Right.
about a week.
okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
And then, so what would be so for time wise, let's say somebody wants to make the most of it and get it done quickest. Like, what's the best time to do a landscape install? Is it earlier in the season, or is it in the middle of the kind of the summer, or where really is the best time?
ooh, yeah. So yeah. Then for landscaping, I think it'd be better like right now in the spring. But for hardscape in the summer, I know it sucks, but once it's really hot, it's the best time to do it. Mainly because it's not as wet and no not delays from the weather. So like the summer to winter, I'll say is the best time to do hardscapes, and then flower beds will be in spring and fall once the temperatures are cool again in fall. But yeah, to get a job done efficiently for hardscape, I say for sure do in the summer. Not because right now we're doing some, and yes, we do have like a day or two of break each week in the rain.
Oh
But
yeah,
it's
of
okay.
course.
Yeah,
And that I never thought
yeah,
about this, but could a homeowner, because let's say they're in the fall and they want to get things ready for spring yet, but obviously it's not time to plant flowers or anything that's going to be temperature sensitive. Is it a deal where they can get you to kind of build everything out? You can put a few
yeah.
things in, and then you come back a couple months later and then fill in the rest.
Yeah. We do a lot of that. So we're like, yeah, we prep them all winter, and yeah, like because it doesn't get it's until it starts snowing. But other than that, once it's like throughout December, January, and February is when it gets a little rough. But we basically prep flower beds. We do the install, so we do the rock border, And yeah, I just basically prep them, add the dirt and everything. So now all it just needs just plants, which is until spring.
Oh,
So yeah, we do a lot of that.
so you can work year round then.
Yeah, basically, yeah, pretty much. The only thing we don't do is snow removal. We don't do
Right.
that.
Oh, don't worry. The sun and the temperatures do that for you the next day.
Yeah,
Oh my
Didn't last
gosh.
long.
The snow here. Okay, that's
All
funny.
right.
Okay, so you've come in, you've done my backyard or my front yard or both, and then all of a sudden I notice that some of it's dying. What type of warranty do you offer?
so so yeah, like for flowers and trees, I know I try to make sure like nothing happens to it, with the sprinklers and everything gets water good. But we do have like a 6 month for plants and stuff like that. And that will
Okay.
be free of charge. Just come on, we'll just come by and just replace it, take care of it for you. But when it comes to hardscapes or like drainage, that is up to 5 years. We can be able to warranty it. Yeah, mainly because it's not. We know what it takes to fix it, so it's like, it's an easy fix. So
Right.
mainly because
Right.
the pavers, you just pick up a few bricks, whatever you need to, where it's settled in, and we just fix it up. Unless it was concrete, concrete would be a different story. So that's why we don't
Right.
mind. That's why we love doing the warranty. We love offering warranty for stuff like that because we know. I mean, either way, we know what could have gone wrong if it did, and it's easy fix. But if we haven't
Yeah.
had any problems so far, so we're
Oh,
good so
that's
far.
good.
Yeah, that is good because
That's
yeah, you're right. There's usually
wonderful.
Yeah,
something that can happen, and you could get something on the. I don't know. We've ordered stuff in the past, little concrete blocks or something
Yeah.
where everything looks great. As soon as you install it, all of a sudden there's a crack or it
yeah,
breaks. And like, hey, what happened here? And then you got to go
Right.
back and return it.
yeah,
So I know
That's
things can
right. And
yeah.
then
happen.
No, sure.
I guess you would also inform the homeowners on how to take care of all their landscaping
Yeah,
as well, right?
yeah, pretty much. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Before we head out, once we finish, yeah, like little instructions like how to take everything for until say it takes root, or like for patios, whatnot. Because you also there's no maintenance, but only is if like you have trees that drop a lot of like debris down,
Right.
so like power it off, clean it off here and there. So stuff like that, like just to look out for
Okay.
throughout the years to make sure you get the most out of it.
Well, sure, exactly. And then
Yeah,
I guess you know what to plant where or what's good for shade, what's good for sun, because
yeah,
our sun gets
yeah,
pretty hot here.
yeah. Oh yeah,
I'm still learning what to plant and not plant.
All right. All right. So on that note, tell us, what's the most popular things that people want? Like when it comes to either trees or shrubs or the perennials or annuals. Like what's usually like the hot items?
yeah. Shoot, I think maybe. I know trees. I'll say for sure. I mean, right now in the spring, right now it's a lot of flowers. A lot of
Right.
like the perennials, the annuals. A lot of those right now. Those are for sure the hottest for sure. And at least within this window. But then before it gets too hot, right now is the time to do that. So I've been seeing a lot. Like I've been going to the nursery a lot, and I see a lot. Everybody getting flowers. Everybody getting flowers, and even then here and there trees as well. I mean, everything right now is perfect to plant. But I do see
Right.
a lot of flowers. So right now to get color in your flower bed. Right now is the time to do it.
Which
So
is true.
there's another kind of topic from that. Let's say that you've come out here and you put in this great backyard oasis. You got all kind of mixture of these spiral type trees,
Yes.
shrubs, and
The
and
cedars,
some of these other
the
things that require some trimming or maintenance. So do you guys refer someone that can take care of that for a homeowner, or how does because obviously you can't just plot it and leave it. Somebody's got to come in and take care of it or nurture it every
Yeah.
now and then. So do you guys refer somebody out for that?
Yeah, we usually have somebody that can take care of that, like that does like lawn mowing as well.
Oh,
Um, like I said, my brother, he's starting out doing lawn mowing, but so I kind of like have him do some, but for maintenance, like flower bed maintenance, yeah, I have to refer to someone else.
okay.
Yeah, because we tried before to fit everything in, but we get so delayed, and I don't want them to wait too long until
Right.
everything's so overgrown. So it's like, yeah, I have to for
Sure.
Yeah.
sure,
Yeah.
yeah, take care
Okay.
of that. So
That makes sense.
So yeah, my grandparents and they were in Tyler. She loved flower beds, so she was out there every day. So she was the one doing all the maintenance,
Oh
always
yeah.
trimming everything and picking all the weeds. But it gave her a purpose. When you're in your 80s. So
Sure.
yeah, no, there's a lot of maintenance because yeah, my mother as well, my mom, she's always out there. She has so many flower beds and always all around cleaning, adding more flowers. and
Yeah.
trimming and just always like it's a lot of work if you
Oh,
have
Yeah.
that time for sure.
it's a daily job
Yeah,
as
Right.
far as I'm concerned,
yeah,
because
So,
about
I do
there.
it as
Yeah.
well.
so what sets you guys apart from like other hardscape or landscape companies that are out
Companies.
there, installers?
Uh, well, I guess I don't know. Maybe because I know we do take pride in what we do. For sure, well, for us, it's fun. We enjoy it. So I don't know, like, and plus with the people, like our team, we're all pretty good with each other. We all have fun installing it, so I don't. There's not really any problems within the process of install,
Right.
and so that's the one part of it is installation. Everything's I don't know to us pretty easy and fast. Um, but yeah, I guess quoting the way we quote, the way we have customer service. Um, I feel like that's the only thing I can notice. I don't know. I'm not really, I guess, checking on the other companies how they run their thing as much. But I guess so far for what we do, it works pretty good.
Good.
Um, but, but yeah.
So, Francisco, just tell us a little bit about yourself. How long have you been doing landscaping?
So yeah, so pretty much true. I mean, almost about well, if I guess if you want to include like maintenance, lawnmower, almost like my whole life, I would say. Because I know my dad, growing up, he would always do side jobs because he's been doing landscape work as a foreman since I was born. Basically, I'm 23
Okay.
now, and so growing up, he would do side jobs, and we'd be out there pushing the mower, can't even reach the handlebar, helping my mom, and just always every Saturday we'd be out there with them. And so growing up, I was just always be around it. But I would have really before I didn't like it when growing up a little bit. I was like, man, that's a lot of work,
Yeah.
and I just didn't want to do it before. But as I got older, it started getting funner, and now I realized like, oh, I need money, and then we get more reason to work.
Right.
Sure.
But
So yeah,
Yeah.
so
but no, I think it's awesome though that you took which was your dad was probably just trying to teach you some life lessons, about
Yep. Chores, skills.
working hard, learning a skill, helping out the
yeah,
family, all this kind of stuff. And then you took all that and was like, now that I'm getting to the age where I can actually own and run my own business, let me put that to use.
Right.
And so now you're becoming a successful business owner at the age of 23.
And with the technology, you're able to produce some
yeah,
really nice 3D colored graphics to show the homeowner what the potential could be for them.
Yeah, because not everybody's going to have a vision where they can,
Right.
picture it in their mind, but you can actually show it to them.
That's right.
That's what I was going to do here. Again, I was going to flip through your Instagram
Yeah.
page here again. You guys can always go to his Instagram and check it out as it Embrace the Landscape.
Yeah.
They've got a lot of videos here that they post, which is kind of before and after. So here's an example where you just put down a bunch of sod, so fresh sod over an area that needed it.
Yes.
Just a lot of dirt. So you can, I'm guessing somebody's got a yard that's basically half sod and half not. Do you just kind of start over and do a clean sweep, or you just kind of patch it as you go? How would you approach that project?
Right.
Right.
Right. Wow. I'm
So-
just amazed.
Yeah, so this is we're just kind of showing video of the different modes of equipment that you have.
Yes.
You guys got some big stuff that's in there to tear to tear things down
Absolutely.
and dig it out of the ground.
So no project is too
Yeah.
big or too small. Is that my understanding?
pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. Honestly, yeah. Yeah, actually, it could be a job within a couple of days, and like that one you're showing, that's about a month. About a month.
Oh, that was a big one,
Yeah,
wasn't it?
that's a big project there. So it had a pool,
Yeah.
and then a lot of things to dig out. This one,
A lot of you see all that drainage, all that green pipe,
Yeah, I
a
see
lot of
that.
drainage.
So you did all that.
Yeah, we had to me
So
and my brother. Yeah.
okay, so it
Wow.
can take a
Okay.
little while depending on how big the project is. And
Sure.
in this particular case, this was a huge one.
Right.
I mean, look at
Yeah,
all that
so many
equipment
moving
going back and
parts.
forth. Oh my gosh! All right, so we're gonna flip through a few of them.
Oh,
This looks like this is
this
Jody's.
is my favorite.
Yeah, this is what got Jody all excited.
Oh, the garden
This is why she
beds.
told me I had to get out there and build her a garden bed because of what you posted
Oh,
here. So
this.
thanks for that. But
Love this. Yeah.
so yeah, tell us a little about this project.
Oh man, yeah, that one was fun one too. That one was nothing. There was nothing there. Like it was there's trees there. I know we didn't do the grading part and land clearing, but we were doing a retaining wall for him while that was getting graded out. And yeah, pretty much I didn't really envision like how I was gonna look at first,
Uh
but
huh.
once everything was all sloped down, and everything last in winter, um, he kind of drew out the fence. We didn't do the fence there, but he, I guess, drew out the outline. And so our job there was to pretty much do like the gravel, the pathways,
Mm-hmm.
and the patios in the front of the greenhouse and the shed. So we did a flagstone there
Nice.
for those two. But yeah, for the base, oh, and the boxes too had to kind of like fill them in and add fabric. We had to fabric the whole thing too, just to make sure nothing else grows in there like weeds. Um,
Right.
but but yeah,
Oh,
that job was there was a lot of moving parts for sure. And then
yeah.
we recently finished a flagstone pathway leading to that. So I need to post that.
Oh, okay.
This is just another
Yeah.
example where you can work in some tight quarters.
Yes.
You can
With your
get
Oh man,
equipment.
yeah.
yeah. I mean,
Oh
sometimes you don't
man,
have much
yeah.
room to work with. You got to get
Yeah,
that
yeah.
big
No, that
equipment in
was
there.
I was scared. I was there recording him, my brother, and he was the one operating it. And I was like, "Hey, right there, you're too close." I was like, "Tell lady, get too close to the house." Like, he was
So
scaring me. A couple, he'll be backing up, like, "Hey."
Right. Oh my gosh, this is incredible. Oh
all
my,
right,
you are very talented, you and your team.
you're right. I know you guys. Yeah, man. And then man, if you can envision it, you can do it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
See,
here you guys are ripping out an existing concrete patio. Looks like.
yeah.
yeah, yeah. Taking all that. That's the job. That's the before right there. Yeah, saw that
Okay.
concrete, and it was all discolored, cracked,
Oh, I
and it's like,
see.
yeah, it's time.
Okay.
Gotcha. Okay,
Right.
so as we're looking at some of these, I can see the houses vary. So it can be from really big houses to your normal house. Just depends on what style it is. It doesn't really matter. You can if it's got a backyard, you can work in it.
That's right. And
Um,
then do you offer payment plans or
Uh,
financing or is it all
Shoot, not at the moment. We don't do financing, but I know on the process for payment though that we do normally is like a deposit. Like
yeah,
say for materials at least. That'd be like either when we before we start, and that way we can have everything ordered and have you in the schedule. That way when we do start, everything's ready. All materials are there, no delays, and then
right.
the and depending on the job, I guess if it's like a week or two job, then like after a week we'll take another partial payment, and then the final one
Okay.
will be towards the end when we finish. So that's kind of the only payment we kind of do.
Okay,
But
no, that's
financing
perfect.
wise, yeah,
Yeah.
okay,
That's good to know.
and then obviously it's hard to kind of give a price because every project's going to be different. And so
Right.
it's
yeah,
there's
honestly,
no
it's
average price. It's just whatever you want to put in
no,
there, material wise, you can find it, and then you piece it together.
Oh, that's
So
great.
everything's
yeah,
custom designed and custom ordered.
Yeah, well, I'm sold.
yeah, kind of
All
before,
right.
yeah,
Has there
yeah.
been
Because before they used to
anything?
call me. Yeah, go ahead.
Probably kind of wrapping this up. Has there been anything that people have requested that has been getting difficult to do, like material wise? Just like, oh, I'd love to do that for you, but we can't get that in because of X, Y, Z. Is there
Right.
anything that people can't get right now that they maybe sometimes want?
Yeah, I know like a lot of homeowners they get ideas off of Pinterest and other websites, and some of them
Right.
I'm like, damn, I haven't seen it here. So I guess that those ideas usually be like out of the state, kind of like like in Chicago, Illinois, all up in that area. They got like nicer material, mainly because of the pricing wise.
Okay.
But it's still
Right.
possible to get here. It's just got to be
Sure.
the delivery fee and all that.
Right.
But that's one thing I've noticed really so far is like paper wise, like the material wise, like the
Uh-huh.
color, and there's so much, like so many variety colors of it that you can get it out of. But um, but that's mainly what I see with is papers. That
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
honestly, that's mainly what I see. But really, yeah, it's like it's be like a whole outdoor like landscape, and there's so many like I see like either there's a retaining wall that even the blocks too. Like there's so many kind of blocks that color wise, any color you want them in.
Right.
So that can also vary. So that not seeing like some of the pictures, the whole everything. I guess they show me an example, and I'm like, yeah, I don't think we can get that in. There's many stuff like that I can think of.
Right.
Okay.
Because someone's
Yeah,
outdoor, the coloring of their house, sometimes they might want to
yeah,
match
yep,
what
yep,
they have going
yeah,
on, right? So
yeah.
that may pose as
Mainly, there you go.
yeah.
Do you guys do like
Yeah,
some staining? Like if you put the pavers in or the concrete in, and some people obviously want it
yeah,
stained for lifelong weather. So do you guys do that too, or
yeah, yeah. We
okay,
can take care of that for sure. Yeah, yeah. As soon as
okay?
we finish it, yeah, we'll power wash it off clean,
And let's
and then
say
we'll install
somebody
it. Cause yeah,
says, you know what, I want to extend the patio, so I want a larger patio for my outdoor furniture, and I want a gazebo put on top of it.
Pergola.
A pergola, not a gazebo, pergola. So would you guys go, okay, well, you get the pergola, and then we'll do the patio, or do you find a guy, or can you do the pergola
yeah.
too?
Depending, I know there's some simple pergola kits. Like I know, like I don't know if you see like a Sam's, and they usually have like a big, like nice pergola setup. I think those
Right.
kits are okay.
Okay.
We can install those, but when it comes to like customize, I have a guy that I can refer to.
Okay.
Because yeah,
Okay.
there's some that can get really custom and
Yeah.
Right.
huge. Well, they're huge, attached to the house. Oh yeah, that I can refer someone else.
And then usually, with that, people want a lighting, different lighting. I know you probably do
Oh
lighting
Or
for
fan.
the
yeah,
landscaping area, but would you do
yeah,
kind of lighting in that aspect too?
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Lighting. Oh yeah, yeah. We do that as
Okay.
well a lot. Yeah, trees, plants, flowers on like the retaining wall steps
Uh huh.
and a lot of steps too. Yeah, you gotta have shed lights on the steps.
Oh
But
yeah.
but
Oh
Okay,
nice.
very good. So you
yeah.
guys, man, you gotta do plumbing, you gotta do electrical, you gotta do digging, you gotta do
Oh
building, you gotta
Yeah,
yeah.
man, landscaping companies like an all in one.
That's right. And
yeah,
let's be
pretty much.
clear, Francisco does not come in there to cut grass.
Yep.
He does not cut grass, but he has someone that could if you need
Right.
it.
Yeah. So in
Yep.
other words, once you
Yep.
get all this stuff done, and you're
Right.
like, "This is beautiful," but who's going to maintain it?
Right.
Francisco's like, "I can't do that for you, but I know someone who can. They
Right.
can make.
Yeah.
If you don't even
Yeah.
want to go out there and with the pair of shears ever,
Yeah.
or cut, he's got a company that can come out there and do it for you.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
sometimes you do all that, and all of a sudden now you got a lot of work, right, to
Yeah.
keep up with. So it
Yeah.
looks
Yeah.
great, but you got to take care of it too. Otherwise, what's the point?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
I'll actually get you out of it.
Yeah, that's to be the worst thing to do is you guys you come out there, you design this great landscape situation, and then they don't even do anything to it. And they let it go. That would be terrible.
Oh
And we
no.
can't
Yeah.
have that.
So
Yeah.
really, there
It's sad.
isn't much Francisco that Embrace the Landscape can't do. From what I've noticed
Yeah.
on your pages, you can do water features, you can do the lightings, the pavers, the hardscape as you call it, all the landscaping, trees, grass, you name it, fences, pergolas.
Yeah.
You can do it.
Yeah.
Outdoor
Okay.
living. Any outdoor
Out,
living.
any outdoor living. I love it. Well, thank you.
All right. So tell us,
Wow.
as we wrap this up, people get a hold of you. Where can they find you?
Yeah. So pretty much my website. I guess if you can look up "Embrace the Landscape," from there either on Google or Facebook, on Instagram. But yeah, we have a new website up, and just basically embracethelandscape.com. And on there has like a survey or like where you can add in your info, message, and
Uh-huh.
right away I can be able to get to you as soon as like within the same day.
Perfect.
Yeah,
And okay, that's good.
And then is there? So basically, everybody just needs to go to the website to contact you then.
Right. Or our
yeah,
website.
Yeah. And then we do have he's part of our preferred partners. So if you went to Team Tuttle Realty,
Yeah.
if you scroll down, so we have him on here for landscaping services. So you can also reach out to them today and the phone number as well. So that way there's multiple ways to get a hold of Francisco and his team
Yes. Oh my gosh.
so that you guys can get the oasis of your dreams.
Oh, yes. And visually, you can see it before it's even done.
I know. All right. Well, hey, Francisco, appreciate your time today.
Yeah, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, again, thanks for being a preferred partner for Team Tuttle Realty. We've been excited to see your work and to see what you come up with on the next project. So keep doing good work, and we'll see you around.
Thank you for having me.
You bet.
Thank you.
All right. Well, man, that was good. So
Oh my, yes.
I learned a little bit more about landscaping than I thought,
Yeah.
and what the difference between landscape and hardscape was. So that was good.
Yeah.
So it was a good interview.
It